Well, siblings can be in a pain sometimes, but how will our lives be without them? We won't have those pointless fights that will somehow bring us closer together, or we won't have those crazy laughs that will annoy our parents. Having a best friend at home, or let's admit it, an enemy, is something amazing to have. Imagine one day coming home, it's a normal day, and then all of a sudden your whole world turns upside down. You realize some disturbing psychopath has taken your other half. You hear what's happening but don't believe what's going on. It all starts making sense when you see Amber Alerts on the news, on TV, on your cell phone. You're lost, you're furious, and you want to get that person back. You wish you paid more attention to those Amber Alerts because now you need help. Now you need someone to take initiative. Today I want to review the purposes of the Amber Alert. Where did it all come from? How does it help an abducted child? Or has it been successful? The Amber Alert system began in Dallas-Fort Worth when broadcasters teamed with local police to develop an early warning system to help find abducted children. AMBER stands for America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response. It was created in 1996 when a 9-year-old girl by the name of Amber Hagerman was kidnapped while riding her bicycle in Arlington, Texas, and then was brutally murdered. Other states and communities began setting up their own Amber Alert plans as the idea was adopted across the nation. From 1996 to 2001, the progress of developing and implementing Amber plans was not very significant during this time. It wasn't until the end of 2001, only 4 states had statewide Amber plans. Also in 2002, where the Amber Alert became nationally focused, which was where the first White House made their own conference on missing and exploited and runaway children. On April 30th, 2003, the President signed into a law called the PROTECT Act, with strengthened law enforcement's ability to protect, investigate, prosecute, and punish violent crimes committed against children. The PROTECT Act is confined to facilitate the development of Amber networks, support development of state Amber plans, and efforts help eliminate graphic gaps in Amber networks. It also provides regional Amber network coordination, established guidance on criteria for issuing an Amber Alert. This guidance was made in 2004. It is provided to do law enforcement, broadcasters, transportation officials, and the public on Amber Alert activation criteria. This criteria is made to protect children. Also, it has guidelines on when an Amber Alert is to be issued. Here are some of the things that is to meet the criteria. 1, the law enforcement must confirm the abduction has taken place. 2nd, the child has to be at risk of serious injury or death. And the 3rd is there is sufficient description information of the child's capture or the captured vehicle in order to issue an alert. The 4th one is a child must be 17 years or younger. 5, it is recommended that the child's name and or other crucial data has been entered immediately into the FBI's National Crime Information Crime Center. Finally, in February 2005, Hawaii became the 50th state to complete its statewide Amber Alert plan. In May of 2005, the Department of Justice joined the wireless industry to launch Amber Alert wireless messaging, which is how we get our messages now, which we want them or not. In 2009, along with the 50th states of America, also who have joined the Amber Alert program, is the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and the USA Virgin Islands. As of January 1st, 2013, Amber Alerts will now be automatically sent through wireless emergency programs to millions of cell phone users. Now that you know where the Amber Alert came from and its path to greatness, I will explain to you how successful and effective the Amber Alert is today. No one paid attention to an Amber Alert. It was as if just an alert like a flash flooding or something small like that. It wasn't until a little innocent girl's tragic story hit the news. A girl by the name of Jessica Ridgway was walking to school early one morning. Jessica Ridgway never made it to school that morning. The school had called their mother, who works night shift, and has reported that Jessica never made it to school. It was immediately reported that Jessica went missing. The search had begun for Jessica. Days later, investigators have finally found Jessica's body. A guy by the name of Austin Sigg confessed to abducting, raping, and murdering Jessica's body. Jessica's family was angry and devastated. Justice came to peace when Austin Sigg was sentenced to life. And for his sick, evil ways of what he did to Jessica. The Ridgway family will never get the little girl back. And I would like to show you guys a video of the news report that was sent for Jessica.
A desperate search underway for a 10-year-old last seen nearly 24 hours ago. The last time anyone saw Jessica Ridgway was 8:30 Friday morning. She left home to walk 3 blocks from her Westminster, Colorado home to meet friends for the walk to school, a route she did every day, but she never got there.
So that's just a little thing to show you guys how Jessica never came home and was left, their family, how I knew a family would feel, angry for a 10-year-old to be gone already and never lived her life, and it's just devastating knowing that we will never get that person back. But finally, people started paying more attention to it. In the beginning, in May 5, 2013 in Texas, a 22-year-old man kidnapped a 14-year-old girl, her mother, and her sibling at knife point. The sibling and mother were released from the vehicle and notified law enforcement. The abductor was believed to be obsessed with the child, and Regal Amber Alert was issued, and the vehicle was empty, found, crashed on the side of the road. Later, a citizen saw the child and the abductor walking near the location of the vehicle crash and contacted law enforcement. The child was rescued and the abductor was arrested. According to the National Center of Missing and Employed Children, they have reported as of August 12, 2014, Amber Alerts have helped rescue and safely return about 702 children. Today, I've talked about the Amber Alert, where it came from, the achievement of helping missing and abducted children. The Amber Alert is turning more effective, therefore let's hope people will pay more attention to these important alerts and bring back families together.
All right, Randy, what did you think?
Overall, I thought it was a very good speech. The information was very good, well organized and delivered. The visuals were also really good. The first slide that she had show up was a good one with the road sign that says you are her last hope. I think that was really good at drawing on the emotion of everything and the picture of a little girl. I actually never even knew that Amber Alert stood for what she put on there. I just thought it was just they gave it the little girl's name and that was it. But yeah, overall it's a very good speech.
Okay. I liked most of the introduction. I thought it set up the topic pretty effectively. There was a good preview, a very clear statement of what the purpose was, so everything is solid there. We got a definition, like Randy just mentioned, of the Amber Alert. It's a combination because it was named after that child, but also it's an acronym that has a particular meaning. I appreciated that. You usually come up with a story or an example to pull us in emotionally. I think that adds to the interest. It was a little unclear how the story of Jessica that you presented fit in. If there was an Amber Alert in that situation, it wasn't very clearly explained. Obviously, there's an emotional connection because it's a missing child, but it doesn't seem to be as clearly connected to the concept of an Amber Alert as some of the other examples would be. It's mostly a topically organized speech. I thought you had relatively clear transitions. Sometimes they could be a little smoother, but it was clear where we were in the speech at any given time. On the visual materials, you can do a couple of things here that I think are missing. I'd agree with Randy. I like that first slide that had the picture of the sign on the freeway. You've got the acronym AMBER that's there. You've got the little guilt thing going on there that's trying to motivate people to pay attention to what's going on. I thought that worked pretty well. But there was a section later on where you had these like 6 criteria in order to call an Amber Alert. And that was a long section with a lot of information in it. And to me, that seemed like it would be a perfect thing for a quick set of bullet points. You know, what's required in order for somebody to actually have an Amber Alert called for them. Nobody's going to remember all those things unless you give them a little bit of help, and I think the visual would have helped in that situation. Maybe cut out some of the other things that you used. But the things that you had were fine. Your delivery, we're not emphasizing that too much right now, but your feet never seem like they're quite firm on the ground. There's a little bit of shuffling of your feet, standing on one foot or the other. And you're going to have to work on pronunciation because sometimes you're reading, and when you read, your pronunciation will always sound a little more awkward because you're being so deliberate. And you had a couple of terms that just popped in while you were talking. Regional was one of them, I think, and not employed children, exploited children, because if they're employed children, that just means they have a job. All right, thank you.